What does this mean?
Self-voicing disabled.
Oh my god. That's terrible. That was so loud. Okay, so there's AI voice. Interesting. Hey everybody, and welcome to another Torb Looks At. Today we're looking at the demo for Mushroom Musume, which is a game that I was not aware of at all, but I saw it in the Steam recent games thingy. It is a game like Princess Maker, hopefully without the incestuous undertones. I don't know, it just caught my eye, so I thought I would try it out. Once upon a time, there was a humble recluse. Do I have to click? Yes, I do. Though they had no need for society, they did often find themselves home to a loneliness that they could never quite shake. In the morning, the sun would rise. At night, it would set. The recluse would observe the splendor, knowing that the sight would be all the more beautiful by having someone to share it with. It wasn't that they desired a relationship. Perhaps it was a flame that had burned them one too many times, or perhaps they were simply disinterested. No, a child. That's what they wanted. Someone to take care of, to teach. Unfortunately, it was a longing that could not be found, not in these woods alone. However, we are not quite as alone as we think, are we? One day a witch appeared, as if drawn by the intensity of the recluse's desire. The lumber that the recluse had spent the morning gathering slipped through their hands as they spotted her, the witch of the woods. She began to speak. "You desire a child, yes? For some, those are quite easy to come by, but not you, it would seem. Let us make a deal then. If you do 3 simple chores for me, I will present you with a daughter of your very own." The recluse, caught up in a moment of naivety, quickly agreed. Oh my god, meet daughter, smile. The witch, knowing that the recluse was destined to accept, simply nodded and began to deliver the first of these so-called chores without hesitation. "It is important for a young person to be well grounded in this world, I hear. Bring me a jar of soil to help with this process. Keep in mind that not all dirt is the same, though. Consider the source carefully." Soil, that did sound somewhat magical, the recluse supposed. Left with this vague prompt, they considered their options. The most picturesque selection of forests that you've ever set eyes upon. Your favorite foraging nook. The witch's own front yard. Oh. I think these choices are going to be at the start of every run and will probably determine features of your mushroom daughter. The most picturesque section seems like the correct choice. I feel like the favorite foraging nook is the one I want to go with. The nook was just on the outskirts of the forest, but conveniently hidden from curious villagers. When in need, the spot had never let the recluse down. This time was no different, as dirt was there in abundance. I was just thinking, I don't know, it's closer to my heart. My, favorite dirt spots, I guess. Arriving back at their meeting place, the recluse was excited to share their selection with the witch. "So that's what you picked, eh? Very well, it shall do." Feeling a need to scrub their skin, the recluse retired to their hut to cleanse themselves. The second day. The recluse slept more soundly that night than they had in ages. Having a purpose again soothed them, even if they had found themselves caught up with the witch. They elected not to think about that, though. Instead, when the morning came, they simply did what they had to do, which is to say they got up and went to meet with the witch. Upon watching the recluse's approach, a sardonic smile lit the witch's face. "You completed your first task admirably. There are 2 more, and I can finally give you what you want." She paused only for a moment before delivering her next message of import. "Your child will come into this world with little to her name. Let us even the scales. Bring me an heirloom, something she will forever value." The recluse thought on it briefly, searching through their home for the object they had pictured. A dark weathered tome, an old bottle of medicine that has sat unopened. A hair bow from your previous daughter, blackened with age. That is depressing. What? We have a dead child? I mean, I'm gonna pick this one. It was a dark little thing that the recluse had kept as a painful reminder for many years. Though it hurt to look at, it felt fitting. They would not repeat the same mistakes this time, they thought. Gain trait, lost sibling. Interesting. Was there a trait thingy that popped on the screen last time? Bringing their prize back to the witch, she simply gave a smile. How perfect. After their brief detour to meet with the witch, the recluse resumed their normal day-to-day schedule. Scavenging in the forest like a maniac. With 2 assignments complete, the recluse could feel their excitement grow. If this witch was being honest, and for some reason they felt that she was, then that meant that this could be the last night they spent without a child. They hoped so, at least, for that was all they could do. Barely remembering to get dressed, the recluse dashed the meeting spot. Again, the witch had been waiting there for them. Welcome back, recluse. Are you prepared? Today is your big day, is it not? The last task is an easy one, or at least I believe so. Bring me something colorful, something bright that you think will suit her. When they were first told the 3 tasks, the recluse had imagined things that are much more difficult. This seemed so easy as to be a trick, which they suppose only meant that they should take it seriously, as if a mistake could mean death. With death in mind, the recluse needed to decide where to search for color. A field of flowers, a stony river. I mean, a stony river is cool. I'll pick the field of flowers, because that is the more obvious choice. If someone wanted color, where else could they even consider? The recluse decided to make their way to a particularly idyllic field of flowers. The field was filled with an overwhelming amount of choice. Before long, the recluse narrowed the options down to a few. Forget-me-nots, light-hearted blue flowerets, foxglove, purple bell-like blooms. What's that? A pumpkin? Black pansies, a Stygian omen, milkweed, the bright orange herald of butterflies. I don't like the picture for the forget-me-nots. Foxglove is royalty. I guess I'll go for milkweed. I like this picture up here. It's got like seeds or whatever, which implies like an honest quality for the mushroom person. A mystical field of flittering life gently yawned into the edges of the setting sun. The recluse nearly forgot what they went there for, drinking in the fresh, honeyed breeze. That was the place. Discovered orange. Ooh, I do not like this orange color. The recluse returned to the witch's hut, colored item in hand. She silently took the object, nodding her head to the recluse in recognition. The recluse stood there for a moment, unsure, before finally the witch realized what they expected. Oh ho ho, you want your promised daughter, don't you? Her voice was almost mocking, but at least was not overtly cruel. I suppose I must tell you that I lied, human. Witches aren't human? I do require several more trifling things from you. First is the matter of payment. The recluse should have known that everything is for a cost. Pay me now with wealth. Pay me now with life. Pay me sometime soon in larger quantities. Pay me at a much later date in the way I choose. I'll use money. Why not? They offered their coin purse to the witch, and she took it wordlessly. After pocketing the whole pouch, she returned a single coin in the recluse's hand. This will be sufficient, the witch smiles. With the payment settled, the witch simply smiled and handed the recluse a small pot. Humans are tricky, but mushrooms are much more resilient. Consider this an upgrade. Don't worry, eventually she will develop a mind. Simply give her time, as much as she needs, soon your wish will be in full bloom. I suppose with all that settled though, there's one last thing for you to consider. A young girl needs a proper name. The recluse thought on the witch's demand before offering the final thing they had to give. What is her name? I'm horrible with names. I'm gonna look up There's this like cat lady in Morrowind. Let's see. Morrowind, Mages, Guild, Cat. Ajira, right? Yes, Ajira. That shall be this creature's name. Ajira. And she walked away, only fate knowing if the two should ever meet again. Chapter 2, Cultivation. We're gonna be cultivating our fucking soul. Gonna be eating cultivation pills. Though the recluse was unsure of the specifics, they did realize that it was important to heed her instructions. Care for the pot and the dirt and everything that lay within. So the recluse geared up as any parent should and assessed the things they needed to raise a child. Finances, in case the nearby village had goods or services that you could not provide. Nutrients for the child to help it grow strong. They would need plenty, as it would be depleted on a daily basis. And finally, the recluse's own stamina could not be ignored. One cannot burn the candle from both ends indefinitely. Thus began the longest growing season of the recluse's life. Harsh weather has taken toll on your garden, and your entire harvest has been lost? Rude. Weeks worth of food and labor has been rotted and destroyed. Without immediate action, you and your daughter will be in trouble later down the line. So I can till the garden over again and start over from seed. Accept the loss for now, you can make do. I guess I'll till the garden. That makes sense to me. Now use crying over the ruined crops. I think I'm gonna increase the sound option. And maybe the music, though I'm really gonna hope it's not like copyrighted or whatever. So we lose some stamina, but get nutrients. There will be less variety this season, but you'll live to see it. That's what matters. Decision being made, life continued. Recently, you began to think about your daughter's living quarters, specifically her pot. You have a few ideas on how to improve it, but you only have so much time. Which do you decide to move forward with? Buy some fancy substrate from town, ensure that her soil remains ever damp, decorate the pot, use your cooking scraps as compost, and infuse the soil with a drop of your own blood. I mean, I don't think the recluse is magical. I mean, I think the responsible thing is to make sure the soil remains damp. The scraps, I don't think that's how composting works. So I'm going to do that. You notice she has a tendency to dry out over time. Obviously that is the nature of such things, but you want to keep her as comfortably moist as you can imagine. You assume that's what she wants, after all, is what you would want if you were a mushroom. The forest has many supplies for those who can see them. You spend an afternoon gathering moss, peat, and other fun little things. When you return, you carefully take her out of her pot and resituate the soil. Though she can't thank you, you hope she appreciates it nonetheless. Quality of life having been improved, allegedly, life continued. Huh? Something's happening. Dude, cue the Pokemon music. Gain traits, mushroom creature. Oh no. Your daughter has changed in the night. How horrifying. It looks dead, dude. One day you awaken to the sound of rustling movement and find your daughter has grown enough to be capable of rudimentary locomotion. The creature slinks around uneasily, and a cute little face now greets you on her once featureless body. Her demeanor seems gloomy and shy, preferring to sit in the dark corners for long periods of time. Encourage her discretion, spend time nurturing her environment, motivate her to do something safer. What's this, like, smashing? Dude, I'm gonna run out of stamina. I want to nurture the environment. Can't have a gloomy mushroom. Decide that now is the best time to promote her growth, spending extra effort improving her living conditions. Your daughter seems to appreciate the attention and emotes cheerfully. The decision being made, life continues. No, that didn't take stamina. That was just a personality choice, I guess. One evening, you hear light knocking at your door, quite a rare occurrence. Peeking through the window, you witness none other than the Witch of the Woods standing on the doorstep of your humble hut. That was bullshit. Fate was gonna decide. She's gonna visit? Could she be here for a visit or to settle a debt? Introduce her to your daughter. Privately request a stipend. I'm not gonna ask the witch for money. That would be insane. Perhaps it was time for your daughter to meet the witch. She could maybe even learn a thing or two. The two of you answer the door and invite the gloomy woman inside for dry and awkward small talk. Something about the way the two absently stare at each other, you wonder if they've made some sort of connection today. The decision being made, life continued. While sitting at home one day, you hear an unexpected knock at the door. Unfortunately, when you go to answer, you find yourself face to face with a man that you've never wished to see again. Though he's older now, the scar running down his cheek was unmistakable. "Took me a while to find you this time, recluse." The sound of his voice sends a long-forgotten chill down your spine. This man is your former business partner from a time when you did work that was less than admirable. "I'm sure all this time has given you plenty of time to reflect. Are you finally ready to get back to business?" Beg the man to leave you alone. Give the man a significant sum of money to go away. Kill the man. Agree to do business with the man. Do I want to be a criminal? I mean, I think it's going to fuck my mushroom up if I kill the man. It's probably going to fuck my mushroom up if I'm like a criminal though. I don't have money. I need money, dude. I can't just be poor. I'm going to do business with the man. You can only run from yourself for so long, you suppose. Perhaps it's time to re-embrace some parts of yourself. After inviting the man in, the two of you speak for hours. Nostalgia saturates the air, and though you were initially hesitant, the thought of working with him again seems oddly appealing. When he leaves, he gives you some coin, an advanced payment, he says. Hopefully this time things will be different. Bum, 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 bum. Gain trait child. It's... What am I looking at? Oh, okay, it's looking to the left and it's got arms touching its mushroom head. Your daughter has changed in the night. One morning you notice your daughter is nowhere to be seen. Eventually you discover her hiding in a narrow crevice under a large stump. To your surprise, the creature has now taken the form of a young girl. You feel relieved to confirm that the witch hadn't betrayed you. As you approach, she retreats shyly into the hole. She doesn't seem scared, but doesn't want to leave. Wait for her, buy her a nice gift to celebrate, encourage her to come out. I'm gonna encourage her. You kneel beside the stump and offer your hands, telling her it's time to go. She smiles apprehensively, but accepts, and the two of you return home hand in hand. I'm fighting hard against her gloomy nature. It seems orange was not the choice. A flock of hungry birds has been harassing both your crops and your daughter recently. In fact, they've become quite the nuisance. Purchase some poison and forcibly evict them. Use some food to feed the birds with your daughter. Fetch your bow and hunt the birds. That's stamina. Ignore the birds. I got money. I'm gonna poison these things. Fuck the birds. After a quick trip to the market, you scattered poison feed, watching within the coming weeks as the birds grow weak. Slowly they perish one by one, like ebon angels rebuked from on high. You delight in the graduating silence, the bliss that comes without their hideous squawking. The consequence of their actions brings a smirk to your face each time one drops, and you're diligent in reassuring your daughter just how much they deserved it. Plus, it's a proper lesson for her in how to deal with vermin. Based. Nothing more could be done to the birds. The matter was laid to rest. Daughter has been getting bigger lately, and it's been easier than ever to see her as the child that she is. Today, you want to teach her something fun, something that human children often get to partake in. What activity will the two of you partake in today? Hide and seek, dress up, arm wrestling, quietly count to 1,000, make a deer disappear. Hunting? I feel like this creature likes to play hide and seek, so I will do this one. Initially, you take the role of it as you explain the rules to her, hide somewhere you won't be found, and wait till the seeker finds you. First round goes smoothly up until it's her turn to be it. As it turns out, your daughter is much trickier than you are, or at least she's able to hide in much more hidden places. You end up spending half the day trying to find where she went. Thankfully, it seems she has enjoyed her time spent hidden. The following weeks, she's constantly asking to play, if only you always had the time. The game being taught, life continues. We're starting to run low on food and end. One night, you find yourself struggling to sleep. Your mind wanders as you consider your current place in life. You've lived peacefully with your daughter for many moons. Initially, it was strange. Will never stop being strange, but you're always thankful for the company. Besides, the affection you felt for her was like any parents would feel towards their child. That was normal, at least. Your thoughts turn to the concept of time, particularly how you were once alone, and how you are afraid that you'll be again someday. Your daughter has had more and more curiosities about the outside world. It's only a matter of time before she wants to strike her own path. You hope you'll be fulfilled now. You hope you've done enough. Ultimately, you find comfort in what you've done. You may have had many failures in your life, but there's one thing you know you can die proud of. Gain trait dripping, gain trait decay, gain trait tasty. In the new beginning. Telling the recluse that you wanted to see more of the world wasn't an easy conversation. As they grew older, you were worried about leaving them on their own. Thankfully, your concerns were unwarranted. They were happy that you'd grown enough to want to move out. They even offered to help you build your own home, close to theirs. You're welcome to visit any time, obviously. Faster than you would have anticipated, the two of you built your home together. They showed you all the tricks they knew and made sure to impart as much knowledge as they possibly could. Finally, the day arrived. You were officially on your own. You were scared a little, but also excited. It felt like a new chapter was just beginning for you. Gain trait, loving parent. Ajira, the deathly orange ink cap. A girl on her own, chapter 3. While foraging one day, you discovered a dilapidated outhouse in the middle of the forest. Oh fuck, we've got so many stats. Robustness 34, potency 48, humanity 34, only 34? But we are insanely damp apparently. You wonder what it's doing out here. After all, the surrounding area is all land that has been clearly abandoned for some time. Inspect the facility, use the facility. Does the mushroom need to poop? Definitely gonna inspect it, right? Open the outhouse door and peer your head inside. Dust, cobwebs, the works. Sure enough, this facility hasn't been used in quite some... Oh? You have to strike that thought, as there appears to be fresh-ish droppings in the pit latrine, complete with an unnerving look. Though perhaps that's just the abundance of webbing spanning across the hole's opening. And to your luck, there's a small burlap bag next to the seat. How convenient. Wait, what are you? Are you actually? Item received, night soil. That's what I thought was going to happen. Well, no use heading back home empty-handed, right? Gain trait, poop. The nearby town is having a big contest tomorrow. The local cooks are all getting together to show off their best dishes. It's open for anyone to compete or just watch. Soma? What the hell? Gather some ingredients, including bits of yourself, and participate. And there's like a strange coin thing? Eyeballs? Just go and watch the competition? I guess I'll try. Why not? What's Soma do? Let's see, decay. Oh. Mycelium increased by the right nutrients or things that nourish the soil, the stat associated with how generally healthy she is. And yet it could also be a persistent optimism. So robustness is increased by the ideal growing conditions or by a loving presence. Okay. So if I were to use bits of myself. I'd lose robustness. I want to do it because it seems like a special card. You try your hardest. Ugh, fail. To make a wonderful meal, but in the end, you're not very confident about it. You go to town and enter the contest anyway. The judges taste your food and are so unimpressed that they only take a bite each. They offer almost no comment before quickly moving on. Disappointed, you head home after the winner is announced. Dampness higher, humanity lower, Sag. One day, without realizing it, you had strayed in the village much later than intended. The sun is fully set and darkness has enveloped all. Thankfully, you're fully capable of taking care of yourself. You know the settlement well, and the lack of sun does not change that. You decide to take a shortcut through an alley, but to your surprise, there are others there as well. Quite a few others, in fact. It quickly becomes apparent to you that most of the alley's denizens are going into a single door, one that, when open, you can hear the faint sounds of revelry and triumph through. When they go to leave, many have small trinkets and seem to be tired after a long night of cheering. Steal from one of these easy marks, mind your own business, enter the door. I'm worried about losing more humanity. Clearly these guys are just like gambling, right? But minding my own business also seems like it would take humanity, though it's not like highlighting. This character seems very like not going and doing things type person. You mind your own business. Your curiosity is quite satisfied. Humans simply adore making quite a lot of noise when left to their own devices, and this seems to be just another excuse to do that. Ultimately, you decide to retire to your comfortable, quiet bed. Oh no, I'm losing robustness. You're awoken in the middle of the night by a loud crash from your kitchen. You scramble to investigate and finally catch the source of racket. A man hunched over in pain, and in the middle of your cooking nook, he spots you and seems panic, waving his hands around. Wait, it's not what it looks like. Well, it's exactly what it looks like, but I injured myself, so I'm no longer pursuing that plan. Why don't you bless a poor fool and choose to excuse my rudeness? An injured thief is still a thief. Kick him out. Excuse his rudeness. I'm not feeling very robust, and I feel like this is the exact scenario this character would go for. I think I will excuse his rudeness, just see what happens. With a sigh, you help the man to a more comfortable seating situation. It appears that he may have injured his leg somehow in a fall. After a short while, he seems more comfortable moving around. Thank you kindly for the help, ma'am. He seems appreciative and shockingly charismatic. He gives you a sly grin and a wave before leaving you to your business. Dude, I got robustness back. Thank goodness. Oh, no, it's gone again. You feel a crisp breeze. The heat is relenting. Trees are changing in color. Fall has arrived. You are wandering through the suburbs of the village one day when you notice an unusual sight. Before you is a collection of 5 or 6 young humans crowded together in a circle. When you walk closer, you can more clearly hear the words they seem to be shouting at each other. Damn it! One of them cries out, I should have went scroll. You should always go scroll against you. Scrolls? Are these people scholars? When you take a closer look, you can see the group reset. 2 new humans go to the center of the circle, holding one fist out each. The rest of the group takes an anticipatory position, looking on in intense excitement. This is it. If you win this, you win the whole pot. One of the onlookers was speaking closely to one competitor. Intriguing. A pot? A prize pot? You only have a boring old regular pot. A prize pot would be quite the upgrade. In fact, you can see it from here, an ornate box near the edge of the group. You want the pot. How do you try to get it? Join the competition last minute. They're only humans. Scare them away from the prize. This can't be illegal. Report them to the authorities. I don't want or need a new pot. I will never want or need a new pot. Let's play in the competition. I'm going to play rock, paper, scissors. You're not sure if it's too late to join, but you figure it's getting later every passing second. Without another moment of delay, you run forward and implore them to let you join this mysterious ceremony. The humans share looks with each other, then words. Do we have to? I just want to win this thing and get it over with. Of course you'd say that, Jeremy. I think a random mushroom lady showing up is a good curveball myself. But what if she wins the prize? However, she can have it. It's not that good anyways. Finally, they seem to reach a decision. Yeah, you can play, one of them finally tells you. You know the roles of stone, scroll, shears, right? Unfortunately, you're forced to tell them that you do not know the rules they speak of. Thankfully, they are quick teachers. They tell you that a countdown is performed, and at the end of that countdown, you must perform a hand sign for either stone, scroll, or shears. Stone can defeat shears, scroll can defeat stone, and shears can defeat scroll. This all seems a little strange to you. This is a sort of game that you've not encountered before, that requires strange symbolic thinking, but it does seem to be a game of luck at least. With the rules now in your grasp, you watch the final rounds. Perhaps this will teach you the necessary strategy if there is one. The two final human competitors ready for battle. 3, the audience begins to shout, the players whipping their fists back and forth in front of them in time. 2, on the last second, a glance of intensity is shared by both competitors. 1. The two throw their selection in front of them, one with the symbol you've been told means shears, and the other, stone. The absolute madman went stone! The crowd cheers and whoops excitedly. One of the players, the disgraced loser, mournfully re-enters the crowd. The winner, on the other hand, looks to you. Alright, stranger, let's see what you got. You're pushed to the middle of the circle. With barely a second of pause, the crowd starts shouting. 3, oh no, what to do? 2, you have to think quick. 1, shears, stone, scrolls, kick them, take the chest, and run. We did stone last time, so I'm gonna do stone. Without thought, you look down and see that your hand has selected the outcome for you. The crowd is silent and they gauge the situation, determining the winner. Finally, after a second of shock, both you and the crowd realize the result. You won! The crowd is whipped into a frenzy. Oh my god, Shiramu, you lost to the mushroom! The audience seems to enjoy this outcome, taunting the winner happily. You're thankful that this appears to be the best ending possible for most participants, and thankful that you now get to receive this incredible pot they were all gathered for. Without being able to wait, you excitedly ask about the prize. Oh, right, obviously. One of the youths kneels down near the chest, opening it. Where's the pot? Inside the chest you only find a small collection of human snacks. No pots at all. You question nearby human, and they can only tell you that this was the prize that they were competing for all along. Ugh, well no, it's no amazing pot, but you suppose you'll accept a bounty of treats as well. You begin shoving them in your bag as the teens make small talk with you. Finally, you've gathered it all. You stand and bid them farewell, thanking them for letting you play their game. No problem. A mysterious last-minute competitor is always a good time, one of them tells you. The group cheers your exit. On your way home, you casually take a cookie from your bag and start eating it. Victory is sweet after all. While walking down a heavily wooded path, you notice a disheveled woman slumped mournfully against the base of a tree. She bears numerous scratches and light wounds, as well as peculiarly coal-black libs. Her clothes are torn and dirty, but despite this, you can tell that they were once quite expensive. Curiosity piqued, you approach the woman, asking if she needs help with something. She grimaces, shaking her head. Nothing can be done for me. I've been sentenced to death. As she speaks, you notice that her tongue is stained, as if she had been licking ink. You can't help but feel intrigued, so you insist, what does she mean? A few weeks ago, I was walking through these woods when I witnessed the most beautiful woman I had ever known picking flowers alone. I'm ashamed to say I was so taken by her stunning looks that I followed the woman, aiming to at least ask her name. I discovered far too late, however, that was no woman, but the Witch of the Woods herself. Your eyes widen. Few humans would ever even speak of the witch. To follow her into the forest is regarded as, well, a death sentence. I know not if it was a punishment or fulfillment of my unspoken request, but upon my approach she twisted around and met me with a terrifying, intense kiss. When I came around again, I bore a terrible curse. She visibly trembles, pulling at the tattered ends of her elegant dress. Solid cobbles seem to shift under my feet, and steady tools writhe like snakes in my grasp, conspiring to be dropped. I've been doomed to fail at all things. I've lost my work, my coin, and cannot even prepare food or forage without injuring myself. It has reached the point where I can do nothing but sit here and wait. She trails off, pursing her blackened lips. Again, the doomed lady falls against the tree, staring blankly. It's apparent that she has utterly lost her will to go on. A cursed kiss from the Witch of the Woods. How unexpected. Ask her to give the curse to you with a kiss? Absolutely not. Decline to interfere with the witch's business? The sensible option. Tell her to pursue romance with the witch. I'll do that. Why not? The lady is clearly missing the most important part here. The witch is totally into her. Tell her that the curse is a mark of affection, a black rose, bequeathed to her beloved. The ways in which witches court is beyond her understanding, and might even be painful at times. She considers for a moment, her face reddening. You really think she loves me that much? You nod enthusiastically. Who is more qualified to make guesses at the witch's intentions than you? With renewed resolve, the woman gathers the last of her things and departs into the woods. As she disappears between the trees, clutching a bright red rose in her hands, she resembles a sacrifice being made to the woods. You do hope the witch treats her kindly after all. Yep. So we never found out. You leave your home in the later hours of the morning one day, only to set upon a strange woman not too far from your front door. It's immediately apparent that she doesn't notice you. Heck, she may not even notice the house that's just right there. As it stands, the slender, bespectacled woman has her gaze locked to the sky. She'd be a statue if not for a periodic wave of the hand, setting errant strands of silver back into a messy ponytail. Watching her for a moment, you stand to reason that maybe something's wrong. Plus, she looks harmless enough. Maybe she's worth approaching. Can I help you? Play it safe and leave her alone. Attempt to scare her off. I'll talk to her. Why not? I need to get my robustness back somehow. The woman whirls around, caught off guard by your sudden appearance. Oh, I'm sorry, she stammers before catching a good look at you. Oh, my, you're an interesting creature, aren't you? Her inquisition borders heavily on the familiar, but you let it slide. Are you by chance the mycelial maiden of these woods? I've heard so much about you. It's a shame I'm pursuing other interests right now. I would love so much to study you. Sorry, is that weird? That's weird, right? The woman pushes back a series of stray hairs, smiling sweetly through thin lips and eyes that glitter like velvet gems. It's almost enthralling. Ah, right then. I suppose I should introduce myself. My name's Kalia. I suppose what you'd call a scholar of sorts. I study all sorts of creatures, both mythical and speculative, ranging from all sorts of quasi-humanoid beings to amorphous energies. My primary field of study is in the realm of the Fae. Tricky little friends, I tell you what. Lately I've been trying to uncover traces of this cheeky bugger, a Fae prince by the name of Cupid. I don't suppose you've seen a foul-mouthed baby flying around shooting at people, have you? Is that a riddle? What do you think the answer to that is? I guess I'll do this one. Celia put a finger to her chin. I suppose that does sound odd, doesn't it? Still, there is that little gremlin around here somewhere. My, sources have provided me with good intel, I assure you. Okay, but why bother studying him if you can't find him? I guess I can let you know if I see something. Yeah, I'll do that one. Oh, that would be wonderful. Definitely seems to be a lost cause looking for him here anyway. Tell you what, Kalia hands you a small handbell made of lightly glowing bone. Take this and ring it if you find him. Of course, if you find anything else of interest, I would be thrilled to be notified. Holding the handbell, you give it a light jiggle. To your surprise, it rings out spectacularly. Gain trait Scholar Bell. And you know, Kalia leans in close. If you'd ever like a little studying of your own as well. Kalia's face begins to turn red as she looks away, hand on cheek, stifling a giggle. Ah, nothing. Don't be a stranger now. Was that a flirtatious smile? With a grin, she saunters away. You're left feeling a myriad of emotions, though a single question remains. You're not going to, get shot by a baby just walking around, right? We're down to 4 robustness. A chilling breeze greets you one morning, heralding the approach of winter. At the end of the year approaching, you find yourself considering your aspirations. You want to accomplish something significant, you decide, something you'll remember. Take on a dangerous quest, attend charming events at the gala, pursue a great aspiration, decide not to pursue anything. I think great aspiration. Sounds good. There is something that you wanted to accomplish, actually. You need some great achievement to end the year in a high point. Keep a conscious eye out for Cupid. Actually, never mind. Yeah, I'll keep an eye out for Cupid. You remember back to that curious scholar who was outside your house before. Damn, I only got one possible, like, ending thingy? That's interesting. She gave you a handbell as the means to summon her should you locate the illustrious Cupid. Of course, he could be anywhere, show up anytime, you'll just have to stay vigilant. One day, while gathering some resources from the forest, you realize the sun has gone and set on you. You hadn't been anticipating a night trip, so this is a little unfortunate. Thankfully, you can spot a fire on the road ahead. It appears to you that a single man is sitting next to it with a worn tent set up nearby. He bears a distinctive set of tattoos, spotting his face and arms with a set of decorative, presumably eyes. You contemplate the thought of approaching this man and keeping yourself warm beside his fire. Does this appeal to you? Join the man, you can make your own way. Definitely, I will make my own way. Making merry with the strange human in the middle of the night, you think you'd pass. You make your way back in the dark, thankfully not meeting any misfortune on the way. Why did it highlight dampness but took potency and humanity away? Robustness 0. Your body is quite resilient, however in the recent days you feel as though some component key to your composition has failed you. As you carry on, you realize your steps have grown slow and cumbersome. Every move forward feels like trudging through slush. And before you can even think to look down at your legs, a distinct weakness overtakes you. Your chest feels hollow, your neck feels slack. Your eyes trail downward, and where they should land at your feet, there's only a foaming, disintegrating mass. For a second you think to panic, but you don't seem to have the energy for it anymore. All the energy you have left is being returned to the earth. And as the last of your cap dissolves into the ground, a moment of calm washes over your psyche. Perhaps it's the release of death or the beating heart of the cycle of life born anew. Regardless, there's only weakness, then release, and then finally peace. Ending can't keep it together. Ending could not sustain itself. Damn it, I had this fucking decay trait. How did I get that? That's so unfortunate. Like, doomed my run. Soma, your body's made of a useful resource, but you must be mindful not to give too much of yourself away. On use, it gives you a little snack for later at least. Was there like a thing I could have done? No way, dude. History, save, skip. I don't see an inventory button. Congrats on finishing your first run of Mushroom Musume. You discovered one of the 30 endings available in the demo version of the game. In the demo, that's all available? We encourage you to experiment a little while growing your next daughter to see how different she can turn out. Be sure to check out your almanac if you want to see your progress. Okay. Shaggy mushroom that decays into a black slime over time. Okay, so whatever I did to make her into an ink cap caused her to be guaranteed to die. Unfortunate. Yeah, there's so many types of mushrooms. There's 30 of them, it seems. Or no? Yes? These endings too? The numbers are skipping. Don't know what that means. Well, in either case... Oh, hold on. There's other features and stuff. Interesting. Your grow your garden can help you shape your future daughters. Okay. Wait. Garden effects insta-grow. Your next daughter will be either 2 or 3 star rarity. That's interesting. Okay, cool. Yes, there will be many features in the full game, which exists. I'm doing my outro right now. This was Mushroom Musume, or at least the demo of it. The full game is out on Steam at this point, as I mentioned at the start of the video, but they still have the demo out, which is cool of them. I like it when the demo remains because I do like playing demos. Yeah, so thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you next time for what I look at next. I know it's a little bit of a departure from what I normally play, but I had fun reading through it. Yeah, I like novelty stuff.